everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. This week's episode is entitled Last of Yussss. Have you ever been playing a game or finished a game and thought, man, this would just make a great show? Who would you cast as the lead role? Would they keep the same story? Would they destroy the series entirely? Should they keep the directors far, far away from the franchise because we don't want it ruined? Is there a character that Henry Cavill can play? If these questions sound familiar to you at all, then walk a road that's been well traveled by us this week as we look into any sort of games that we think could or shouldn't lend themselves to being TV series. We've got a ton of examples of great successes, and I mean like great successes, but also some that are just utter failures. So we're going to take a look at those, give our input. Obviously, we're going to start with the good because, I mean, with the most recent examples, with the success of The Last of Us and Cyberpunk and hell, even Arcane and The Witcher, all of these are like amazing options that have spawned from video game stories. We're not going to go too deep into The Last of Us just yet. We're going to wait for the full series to play out and give our full feedback on that. It's going to get a whole ass episode for itself because it's that good. But we're going to shut up there. You're excommunicated from the podcast.
Yeah, well, I think I'm excommunicated from half of the gaming world when I think that game is overrated to begin with.
You shut your whore mouth. I'm just going to mute you. So we'll touch on Last of Us, but we're also going to take a look at a bunch of other video game based TV series and sort of give our feedback on that. And then we'll talk about some ones that were not great because, of course. So aside from Daryl's heresy,
yeah, come at me. I'm not afraid of the smoke. Okay, like I'm ready for it. But I have said this several times. I think the hype of The Last of Us is not merited. Like I am not on board. I don't fully get it. I don't really understand it, if I'm being honest. The story is incredible. Wrong. The story is great. It's a great story, but the game was not as good as it got rated to me.
That's fair. Which is why it makes a good TV show.
So I agree with Daryl to a point, and I think him and I have actually had this conversation before where I agree with him. I don't think from a gameplay perspective, I don't think The Last of Us does anything really above and beyond or groundbreaking from what a lot of other adventure action games do.
True.
I think what sets that game apart is the fact that I think, at least to me, that's where a lot of gaming studios really felt the value of motion capture and real life performances in their games and actually giving a shit about the dialogue and the story and the narrative of their stuff.
Yes.
Like this game set a new bar from a narrative and from a performance standpoint.
Well, I mean, Mortal Kombat had a character called Mocap. Like it was already happening.
But yes, I to Daryl's points, this game, the gameplay is enjoyable, but it by no means.
It's not revolutionary. It's not.
I don't think so.
No, but it made a good TV series.
Yes, focus.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's shift away from that because I feel like you guys could talk about that for a while.
We're going to talk about it.
I know, but we'll go more in depth when we're fully done the series. Another big one that has been, that was picked up by Netflix and then fucked up when they dropped Henry Cavill. The Witcher. the Witcher series is on. Is it second, third season?
It's going into the third.
It's going into
third.
Yeah.
And going downhill after that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't trust Hemsworth to
kill off Geralt and just make Hemsworth a different Witcher.
Yeah,
you just can't though, because so much of it is based around Geralt. Like that's
true.
It's tough.
I don't know.
But Henry Cavill was a perfect casting.
Oh
yes.
I gotta say, because I have very recently just started watching the show, and I was like, oh man, this is the Game of Thrones of gaming television. Like there's some shit in that show. Like
I think the big thing in that series too, like we talked to Siri, who was our guest a while back.
Yes.
If you are like the true fan, yes, there's stuff there where maybe they didn't stick to the lore and the script of the games and the source material as much as say The Last of Us. But I think The Witcher did such a good job with the monsters and a lot of the animation in that show.
Yeah.
Because I also have a list here of like stuff that has been announced. And my biggest concern with all this stuff going to TV is like graphics.
Yeah.
Right.
Budget.
We see Disney, a multi-billion-dollar company, struggle, with something like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Because they have a motion captured CGI character in half or more of the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is that going to be for, say, what do we got here on this list? The Knuckles series.
Yeah.
You're not going to have like what? You're not going to put Ryan Reynolds in like a skin tight red suit to play Knuckles. Like you're going to have to CGI him.
I don't know. I would pay to see that.
I mean,
I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see the Moose Knuckles show. I want to see Knuckles.
Just in one of those the full body suits.
Yeah.
So
Can see what religion he is.
I think. Oh man.
Heads or tails?
That's going to be a big thing. Awful.
Oh God.
We can do it. We can stay on track. We can do it, guys.
This is already just derailed.
Yes.
Oh, so good. Okay,
sorry, Trevor. You were saying,
but just saying, like, there's got to be a balance, right? Like, if we do a full animation, if you do Arcane, a fully animated series, that makes sense. But to do some of these as like live action, I think is the problem. Like live action with tons of CGI.
Yeah. I mean, you talked about Arcane. Another big one that was like an actual like anime style was the Cyberpunk series. I haven't actually like had a chance to watch it yet, but
it is like a bit more on like the Japanese like intense anime side of things. Okay. But it's pretty good. Like it's pretty out there.
There's definitely some like Ghost in the Shell vibes. Like if you've ever watched that,
that's a great comparison.
Cyberpunk, there's a lot of that in there. It's pretty apparent.
Anime
for sure.
gore too.
Yeah.
Just people, punching holes through each other.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, Trevor kind of hits the nail on the head. I think that's why so many TV adaptations in years past have been booty, is because there's just no budget. And if you've got a lot of special effects or CGI attached to your project, I mean, fuck, it's going to be noticeable if you're not spending the kind of money that you need to. I think that's why The Last of Us has kind of done so well, because even the clickers in that show are practical effects.
Yes.
Even the bloater.
Oh my God.
Like even the bloater was a bodybuilder that they strapped an 80-pound suit onto.
Oh my God.
And that was all practical stuff. And so, you need the budget, and you need showrunners that give a shit and that want to take the time to spend the money and spend the extra hours to
do it right.
Yeah.
I love that they have kept the story of the game in The Last of Us.
It's been touted as like one of the most like accurate and true to the game.
Yes.
Like
there's a lot.
Every time you do a rendition, doesn't mean it has to be like you don't have to change the script or flip something or make something new. Like this is literally a prime example of pleasing your crowd by giving them exactly what they know, and it's still proving to be very fruitful. Like,
well, that's what we've, bitched about at length on our multiple terrible gaming movie episodes. It's like, don't dumb it down. Give us what it is.
Yeah.
The fans will love it because you gave it for what it was. And like, people aren't stupid. Like, let's be serious. I know they say it's a bad word or not. Let's say zombies when you talk about The Last of Us. It's a fucking zombie show.
Yep.
People understand that, but you're still getting people who never played the game and never have even heard of it.
They get to experience the story this way, which is fantastic.
And you don't have to dumb it down or make up some weird excuse for why this world exists. Just give it as it is.
A great example is my parents. My parents are not gamers at all, and and they have my mom and my dad have been watching The Last of Us every Sunday when a new episode comes out.
Seriously?
And they've loved it. Absolutely loved the show. Every time an episode ends, I get a text from my mom giving me an out of 10 rating. That episode was an 8 out of 10. That was a 9 out of 10.
That's funny because the same thing happens with Jordan and me.
Correct.
I get a text from Jordan.
Episodes, right? You're not talking about other stuff?
I hope not. I have. But like that's I think that's what makes a successful show is if it's but also it's one of the hardest things to do too. Is make it accessible. Make it faithful to the hardcore guys to like it, but then make it accessible for somebody that's never heard of the universe in their life and they'll still enjoy it.
That's where I'm really curious. So I have a list up of some of the shows that have been sort of announced, but not really officially anything done with. But I'm curious with the ones that are a bit more open worldy. So there is a Fallout show being made. It's been shown. There's Amazon's making it. There's been photos of some of the sets and stuff. Like they've got a red rocket. And then another one that I actually think, I think a Fallout world would be awesome. Great mix of real practical effects, stuff like that. And then I do see on the list here, there is one for a Horizon show.
See, that concerns me.
Horizon's weird because I think you could do a mix of flashback, flash forward of like, how did we get to the whole Zero Dawn project? Yeah. And then what's happening after the fact. The same thing is if you're going full Aloy robot dinosaurs in the background of every fucking scene,
that gets expensive.
It's not going to go well.
No.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
And just like
unless it's like unless it's the precursor, like to
that's my thoughts. If you talk about whatever, I can't remember the character's name, her clone mom.
Yeah, the doctor, professor.
So if you focus on like her and Zero Dawn before the world ends, and then you're flash forwarding to the now prehistoric type world.
Yeah.
What's the other guy? Pharaoh's? What's that other guy?
Pharaoh. Was it Pharaoh? Yeah.
No.
Shit, it's been a while since I played that game.
Yeah, that's not good that I can't remember this. But
Silas?
Whoops.
Not Silas.
No, Silas is the...
So the original,
Ted Pharaoh.
Oh, yes.
Ted Pharaoh, yeah. Like having that conflict be the show to me would make more sense than
give him just like the Jeff Bezos haircut.
Yeah, unless there's like just a quick battle scene flashback of like her shooting a bow at a raptor and they're just always in town. But I just don't know. I don't know if that franchise lends itself too well. There is a lot of traveling and exploring the land and getting to see the
I mean that's more of, if anything, that's more of like a feature film type franchise, because then at least you've got the budget to handle it.
But I can see that.
Yeah, I guess it depends on it, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Nowadays, you're getting these like insane, Rings of Power. You're getting $1 billion budgets.
True.
For a 6 to 8 part TV series.
Yeah.
That shit was good though. Rings of Power was really good.
Most expensive TV series ever.
Yeah,
I liked it. I
wish I could have
spoken to my buddy
actual
Paul
Lord of the Rings about it, but
that talks about. He's pretty well versed in Tolkien universe. He's read the Silmarillion and everything, and like he said that the renditions and some of the changes they made in the Rings of Power was actually welcomed. Like it was nice. What they did made sense and it transferred well. So, and I was into it. I was into the show. It's a little bit slower than some of the like typical Lord of the Rings things, but man, I was invested. I liked that show. It was good.
Now, sorry, go.
Oh, I was just gonna say we're supposed to be getting another Amazon produced show for God of War. Like that's another PlayStation franchise. Like, what is God of War gonna look like as a TV series?
PlayStation's really branching out with that too, because they're supposed to be getting a Ghost of Tsushima movie.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh man,
there's a Gran Turismo movie
that
that's
probably
coming out,
would be good.
See,
that's done right.
Like a Tsushima movie, they have to cast the guy that played Jin in the game. Like, just fucking cast the same dude.
He knows the role.
Oh man,
he probably still knows the lines.
We just talked about this last episode. So on this list, I've also got movies, which we're not really talking about here. I do see that obviously there's Borderlands, which we will talk about later. A lot of these are for Jordan. We've got Mega Man, Death Stranding. One you literally just talked about. There's apparently a Firewatch movie potentially being made.
Oh,
just a dude walking around the words for 2 hours.
One for all of us. A Duke Nukem movie would just be fucking fantastic.
That ship has sailed so far.
No, you shut your mouth. That's a great way to bring Duke back.
That's just for our generation and older, because I don't think any kid nowadays know who the hell Duke Nukem is. And then, of course, there's supposed to be another Mortal Kombat movie coming out.
Of course.
So Death Stranding, I think, is a game that would be a far better TV series than a movie.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I think TV series and honestly, there's not that much CGI or special effects that you would have to do. And that world would still be incredibly interesting to explore as a show. So, yeah, I hope that's a TV series and not a movie, because I don't think a movie it's going to work.
Now,
I agree.
I'm curious, have any of you tried to watch the Halo show?
Okay. So I was like, do we have a good list and a bad list of things? Because, man, I can tell you that Halo series is dog shit. That is a terrible... What is the number one best part of Master Chief to you? Like what is
super ultimately cool and
he
tough.
Kicks ass. Like he fucks
cool,
shit up.
He's tough. Yeah. He's mysterious. Does anybody know what Master Chief looks like?
No.
Well, we do now.
Yeah. No, you don't. You don't know what he looks like, because he's a badass and never takes his fucking helmet off.
It's like the Mandalorian. He never takes his helmet off.
Yeah, because
you're just like worried he's some super pale guy that like hasn't seen sunlight in 78 years.
Yeah,
so you're just like, he's not taking that thing off.
I take offense to that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's life for you. Just deal with it. Get some vitamin D. But like the first episode, he takes his helmet off, and I was like, "You ruined it! You ruined the whole show in your first pilot episode. It's over.
Ruined the mystery. The mystery is gone at that point.
Unless you
like if the actor was like, "No, moment. I need people to see my face to know who I am. That I'm playing Master Chief." I'd have been like, "Okay, well, there's the door. See you later." This could be revolutionary for your career regardless. Like, have you seen other shows where they never take their mask off and make millions of dollars?
You've got Brendan Fraser in Doom Patrol playing a robot, and he looks like a robot the entire fucking series.
Oh, don't watch the Halo show. Anyone that's like, "Oh, I'll check it out."
I've been thinking about that.
Bad. It's bad.
It's funny because I've actually seen a lot of people with The Last of Us be like, "Man, why does PlayStation get a fucking kick-ass TV show like this, and Xbox gets the Halo show, which fucking sucked dick?" It's like, what the hell happened?
The Last of Us show came from the correct provider, and the Halo show is what you got when you got something from Wish. Like
corporate. That's
you got that.
Yeah.
Is that right?
People,
did I order the right thing?
The issue is people forget. Like I know there's like Halo lore and there's books and there's that other shit, but like the meat and potatoes of Halo is a level-based shooting RPG game where you just essentially platform and shoot things.
Yeah.
Okay. If they were going to give anything from the Halo realm, it's like a better rendition. If anyone has watched Red versus Blue, that shit is fire. The first season was like, okay, it was a gimmick. But after that, like, that gets really good. And the story gets really, really good. And I was like, man, they should just ran with that and forget the Halo show. It's not good. It's not a game, to your point, Trev, that lends itself to being a good show.
There's like, barely any dialogue. There's the story like aliens and stuff, but it's just not.
It's not great.
It's not great.
It's just banking off nostalgia at the most.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. And like basically the most premier character of Xbox is Master Chief.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna slow down and stop for a second to take a little segment break, but we'll come back and start shitting on stuff.
Awesome.
Great. Good plan. So this week, I think we have the jukebox all geared up. Ooh, careful with that hand swing there.
It's straight up. It's straight up. It's fine. It's straight up and down.
Have you seen that chart with like the clock?
Pointing, calling for the waiter. Not okay. I'll do this. I'll put my finger up. This is safer.
There, that's it.
All right, Trevor. Take it away with this week's jukebox.
Good enough.
Jukebox.
All right, this week on the jukebox, this is a fairly brand new game. It should be only out for about a week or two now, depending on when this comes out. Had to search for this one. I couldn't find it on Spotify, but I did find it on the YouTubes. Is the new soundtrack for Octopath Traveler 2.
Ah, nice.
Oh, okay.
They did it. I mean, I know there's mixed feelings about those games. Like there's kind of a back and forth as to how good they actually are, aside from just the artistic style. But the soundtrack for the second one especially is really good. Just another one of those like kind of chill RPG, like, you know, lots of string instruments. Kind of get it. You can kind of sense when you're in like a battle scene versus just like, you know, in the town.
Yeah.
Just like long, kind of repetitive, kind of folklore-y medieval type kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely a good one to check out. It might be coming to Spotify and probably Apple, I'm guessing. But for now, I did find it on YouTube and worth a look and potentially a good, you know, turn-based RPG if you wanted to check it out.
All right. Octopath Traveler 2.
Correct.
Give it a go.
Dope.
Nice.
Okay, now it's time for our favorite section of every episode, and that is talking about really bad adaptations.
Okay, I've got one, and it hasn't even come out yet, but I know Daryl's gonna. I know Daryl's gonna agree with me on this one. Gotham Knights.
Oh,
on the CW network.
Oh.
Anything the CW touches turns to shit.
Any DC hero that has been on the CW network.
Who the fuck at Warner Bros. Gave CW the keys to make DC stuff? Like,
and they just don't stop. I don't know what it is. Like, there's been how many seasons of Supergirl?
Right.
Flash.
The Flash is on what? Like season 9?
Oh yeah, Green Arrow.
We're gonna get sued for slander and libel at this point. Of you guys just like hating on it. Yeah.
Just stop doing it though.
Gotham Knights. They released a teaser, a trailer a while back, and I think I made about 20 seconds into it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be horse shit." Like. They just completely take what made that game cool and teeny boppered it. And now I feel like I'm watching Riverdale with fucking DC in the background. Like for real. That's
Just
what I feel like
significantly
watching.
worse.
Daryl, would you rank this? Would you then rank this below Netflix's Titans?
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Okay.
This is going to be way worse.
So
It's
much.
going to be way worse. Like the first season of Titans was actually really good. I actually really enjoyed the first season of Titans. It was dark. It was crazy. I was like, oh, okay, I'm into this. When they brought in the Red Hood part of the series, I got really pissed off because he was too young
early.
and it was too early, and I didn't like it. And I am obviously very much tied to Red Hood.
Yes.
And so when they do it wrong, I get pissed off. And like, this is just another instance where I'm like looking, I just saw the poster and I was like, this is a train wreck. I saw the poster for the show and I was like, this is going to be awful. You can just tell. Like, I'm sorry for the actors that spend all their hours doing this, but I'm going to be like, yeah, this belongs in a dumpster fire. Like this, like,
I hope
nobody
you got
asked for
paid
this.
a good
Nobody
sum
wants
of money.
this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants this show. As soon as everybody saw that it was CW, they were like, "Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
I'm out."
Yeah. I mean, they've completely squandered that entire
CW just
DC
stands for can't
property.
wait, and they can't wait to ruin everything for my childhood. Like, fuck.
Oh man, yeah.
The salt is obviously thick on this one.
Yeah.
To chime in on that point, I mean, look at the Resident Evil series that they keep trying to put out. The Netflix one, I think I lasted like half an episode before I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Oh, I didn't even watch
The
it.
only thing that was good about that was it's the guy from Horizon.
Yeah, what's his
name?
The Silas character, though.
Yes, and he plays Fisker, and they do a fucking great Wesker. Sorry, not Fisker.
That's a car.
They do a great job with like the later part where there's like multiples of him.
Yeah.
But it's like they're like teasing it, like they think they have 5 seasons signed up already, and it's like they're teasing it to everyone who knows Resident Evil. Be like, oh, that's Mr. Wesker, and they just won't stop saying his fucking name. And he does a good job. He's the redeeming quality because he plays a really good bad guy, like a good, like smart, kind of creepy evil bad guy.
Well, it's like the Ant-Man movie. The only defining feature was Kang.
We'll
That's
talk
a later
about that
episode.
later, Daryl. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Once we've all seen it, damn it.
Yeah, whatever.
I know another one. I know another one that Daryl is just desperately looking forward to, though. Coming to Disney Plus, Ironheart.
Oh,
Oh fuck!
yeah, I really can't wait to have my eyes bleed watching that.
Is this just the sequel to Power Rangers? Is this the next movie in that franchise, or
No, it's Big Hero 6 #2.
taking a dump on Big Hero 6? All right.
Well, that's why it's called #2, because it's going to be a lump of shit, that show.
Oh my god.
Terrible character.
Going back to Kyle, did anybody also watch the other Resident Evil that was on Amazon?
No,
I think I tried that one. It was also ass.
I could
It was
never figure
weird.
out, like, are these two shows connected? Are they completely separate?
Not even
Like,
close. So the Netflix one is like in the future. Like they're kind of rebooting the series in the future.
okay.
Right, because it's like
they're in
Wesker's daughter.
Yeah, it's like his daughter. They're in South Africa at like an umbrella camp, and she lets out one of the dogs, and then they bump to the future, and the world's gone to shit. Whereas
Got it.
the one on Amazon, it's a movie. It's got the girl from, I think she was in the Maze Runner series, and it's essentially a combination of Resident Evil 1 and 2. And so
Okay.
more of 1 with a tiny bit of 2
Right.
tucked into it. But the start is really cool because it's like, except for like there's a couple weird, really dumb shots. But it's like everyone's drinking the water and they get poisoned, and so there's people start going fucking nuts. And then they go into the mansion, and same thing. They won't shut the fuck up about Wesker, and it's the guy from it's the big guy from Umbrella Academy, the dude that's kind of like the ape,
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
ape arms. Same thing, and then it just like it would do better with a sequel to explain what the fuck's going on because it just like ends.
Right. That might be a franchise that they just need to give up on from a movie and TV show standpoint, because they've tried multiple times.
Yes.
And it just never seems to resonate with people.
Not anymore, especially. I mean, it's been done so much, right? Like you've got what? How many seasons of The Walking Dead were there?
Yeah, it's true. 11 seasons, I think.
Every other zombie movie, stuff like that. I mean, The Last of Us.
They're infected. They're not zombies. It's mushrooms.
Yeah.
You snobs. It's a zombie flick.
Yeah.
Can I chime in with one that's like, it's not awful, but it's not great, that my kids discovered on Netflix?
Oh boy.
Sonic Prime.
It already sounds
Transformers?
No, it is Sonic. Like, it's just a redone Sonic show that starts to go into like multiverse shit. It's just like, this is really complicated for a kid show.
Everything does. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's like, I feel like Sonic is really outdated now.
Yeah, it keeps coming back. The movies have done. The recent movies have done okay.
I'll take shit from the community, but I think Sonic has always sucked.
I kind of agree.
The games, the shows, the comic books, the character. I've never found Sonic to be that interesting ever.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
The games are okay on the Sega, like original, just because they were like the only game that were moving really fast. Like it was like the only game that was
nostalgia goggles.
Yeah, but at the time it was different, right? Like at that time, nothing was like it. Yeah. So I think it has distinct nostalgia lens because at the time there's nothing really to compare it to, whereas like now you go back and play an original Sonic game and you're like, yeah, this isn't great. Like this is
this is not good.
It doesn't control well, and
no.
I actually have two that would make potentially good like young teen and or kids shows. Astro's Playroom. Or Sackboy.
Yeah, I think Sackboy would be great.
Because like they've got the what was it, Little Big Planet? Was it 2 or 3? It would have been 3 because not the recent one where they've got like the bird and the chameleon and the like
dog
the
and stuff.
Big dude.
Yeah,
like there's so many characters there, and I mean Sackboy is. I mean, if you're talking about modern stuff, Sackboy is 100% gender neutral. I know they call him Sackboy.
Yep.
But like you literally put on anything.
The Sack.
Yeah.
They're just gonna rename him Sack Person.
I don't know why they didn't call him Sackling, unless Sackling sounds dirty.
Sackling?
I feel like it should be a Sackling. Like that's.
I mean, it works.
That works.
But,
I mean, that would be perfect, and it'd be so easy to like add in pulp culture references into a Sackboy show,
just like they do in the
music
game, right?
and costumes. Yeah, like it would be
so
so easy for them to do that. Yeah,
100%.
That's a really good one.
I actually think that would be good. I think that would be good.
I would probably watch it if they ever did
It would
something
have
like
kid
that.
potential.
Yeah, I think it'd have pretty good kid potential.
Okay,
I haven't even gotten to say.
No. Before we move on to our Trevor sort of like spawned the next sort of progression here, but we need to hear Daryl or Jordan's shit list.
I was going to piggyback on positives with Trevor. So, but you
perfect. You're okay. You're on the right path.
Keep it rolling.
Yes. I do. I didn't even get to because I've just been so upset by your guys' recommendations.
Sorry, Daryl.
Daryl's been writing this list with like a clenched fist all day. This game sucks.
No, because the funny one was my number one was Halo. I was like, everybody needs to know that this show is dog shit. It's bad. It's bad. It's not good. But what you guys don't know, and you have and I doubt you have seen this, and if you have, I'll be very shocked and mildly pleased. But Mortal Kombat also does not have a great track record of doing shows. And there is a show from 1998 called Mortal Kombat Conquest.
Yep.
It is so awful.
I don't remember that.
It is so bad. It is shit.
Well, if it was from the 90s, it would have had to have been on regular television, which means it would have had zero gore or anything cool.
Like, I think it aired on the History Channel. Like, it was just like one of those like weird, like, or like TMC or something. Like, it's damn near unwatchable. Like, it's so bad. It's that bad. It is that bad. So that was just another one. I was like, if you want to see something wild and be like, wow, who thought this was a good idea? How did it make it through this many episodes? Please check out Mortal Kombat Conquest.
Yeah.
And then to like cleanse that out of your system, look up, what was it? The YouTube series that they did? That was kind of like,
yeah.
That shit was good. Legacy.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat
like
Legacy.
All the shorts and stuff. Yeah.
The shorts were really good.
Those were good.
Oh my God. Conquest had 22 episodes. The whole season, 22 episodes.
Yeah, it's not good.
For some reason, I thought it was animated. It is not. And
it is not.
No, it is live action.
Oh my God.
The cover art for this looks like Buffy. Like it is of Buffy origin.
Yep.
So
bad.
Oh, brutal.
The costumes were bad. The acting was bad. The fights stuff was bad. Like it was.
Who's this guy supposed to be that's on this promo? Is that supposed to be Johnny Cage? He looks like a pirate. It's pre first tournament, so it's like just original nobodies? Kung Lao and this like girl that he meets in I'm looking at screenshots.
It might be streaming on HBO.
No way.
These character shots with like the smoke underneath them, they look like who's the bad lady from Power Rangers with the cones?
Rita.
With the cones on her head. It looks like that.
Oh God.
Rita Repulsa. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You're welcome, nerds. All right.
Awful.
And then it's like some of the other things that could be really good and kind of fell flat. We talked about the movie, but I don't know if anyone has watched the recent anime. Is Tekken?
No. Oh yeah.
So there is a new Tekken anime on Netflix that Netflix produced. That the animation itself looks really cool, but the story of Tekken is actually rich with like betrayal and Hachi being the father of Jin and Kazuya, or the grandfather to Jin, Kazuya being his dad, and like, but you don't know this for the first couple games. Like you find this out later.
They didn't write it.
It became canon randomly. No, but like they introduce characters and stuff and the banter between them, and then they kind of meet together at the tournaments and stuff, which usually that's where everything comes to a head. And that's what's really cool about Tekken as a franchise. I have always really liked the sort of their character development on that front. But the anime on Netflix it could have been really good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't as good as I was hoping.
Right.
I guess it's not terrible, but it's not wonderful.
It's not Mortal Kombat Conquest.
No, no. No, it is not. It is not Paramount Halo either. It is not that low. But in good shows, there's lots of stuff that like we were kids that turned out to be pretty darn good television.
Yeah, I've got two on my list, one old and one new. And then I've got a couple gaming franchises that I think would make really good TV series.
Okay, give me your good.
Okay, so recent shows on Netflix, Transformers: War for Cybertron.
That was a good series.
That series is fucking legit. There's I think 3 seasons.
There's 3 collections or whatever. They're not very long.
Yeah, so but like that series for newer animated stuff is very good. It's better than any of the Michael Bay fucking Transformers movies. So if you like that franchise, definitely check that out on Netflix. And then a throwback one, which might have one of the best intro like title sequences, is Street Fighter 2V animated series. the opening intro to that show is so good. The music and just like the whole thing. Fuck, it's good. That is one I wish they would bring back.
What is like the one cartoon series that they had for Street Fighter? Like it was like their standard cartoon.
Well,
it wasn't an animated special.
They had a couple different ones. There was just like a Street Fighter 2.
One of them is
series,
awful. It's like G.I. Joe's. Like it's
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's just the Street Fighter 2.
Where Ken and Ryu are like dumb brothers, and
yes, that one is awful.
That's brutal.
If it's not Jean-Claude Van Damme, I don't want it.
Yeah. That's right. Kyle,
hashtag not my Guile.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Street Fighter 2V. I think you can find it on YouTube. The full episode's on there. I'd love to see somebody like Netflix or HBO. Even just like remaster it and just kind of update the audio and stuff a little bit and just throw it on a streaming service. Because that series is actually really good. The fights are phenomenal. There's a fight with Ryu versus Sagat in prison and Ryu versus Dhalsim. And both of those are so good. So yeah, if you're into that franchise, definitely check it out on YouTube for sure.
I'm out. I got
what about hopefuls? Do you have any hopefuls that you wish or think would make a good show?
You know, we talked about God of War already. Like, it's got potential. No, man.
I never want to see a live action Final Fantasy. I'll tell you that.
There is just leave it.
That would ruin it.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
just leave it alone.
There's a Final Fantasy 14 on this list.
Oh God,
I don't think there's enough hair gel in the world to get hairstyles required.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to put Dippity Doo back in business to get everybody to.
Yeah,
there's some TH flashbacks.
Yeah.
Why did the hole in the ozone get bigger again?
I think a game like Red Dead Redemption would actually make a good TV series.
Ooh. You mean Yellowstone?
Yeah. Hey, guess what? It already exists.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's just in contemporary world.
Yeah. Bring back the spaghetti western.
It definitely wouldn't be revolutionary. I mean, obviously, westerns have been done to death, but I think as a series rather than a movie, you could just flesh out those characters a lot more. Mm-hmm. And I think we've been far enough removed from some really good westerns in the last decade or two. I think something like that would do pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think something like that would do really well.
More of a true cowboy western, not
like
ranching.
Yeah. And then Mafia, same thing. The Mafia franchise. There's a lot you could do there, and I think that would lend itself really well to a TV series.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the Digimon cartoon series when we were younger. That shit was hot fire. And I don't care what anyone says, Digimon show was better than Pokemon.
Yes, it was.
Ooh,
yes, it was.
There's supposed to be Pokemon live action coming too, and I know they just just retired in the anime, and they're making more of it. Like Pokemon is never going to die.
No.
I guess like Detective Pikachu wasn't that bad if they keep it like animation style with the Pokemon.
Yeah, it was fun,
but it's not necessary.
No.
Nope.
Digimon though, legit.
Again, that's one of those like high budget digital effects shows, though. You know,
better movie than show, I think.
Yeah.
Another one that I think Jordan, you'd probably agree with is mainly because of who made it, and if you made it probably more into like an animated movie. If you did like a Kina, Bridge of Spirits, like movie / show or something like that. I mean, that already. It's the Pixar people.
Kind of Pixar. Just make a Kana. Just make a Kana movie. Like that would be great.
Let's throw it old school. Give me a siphon filter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any good ones of those in a while.
No.
That'd be a good one too. Yeah.
I mean, we could sit here and spout off games all day.
Yes, we could.
We just start just saying names and going, ooh.
just fade out.
Yeah. But I think that's this week's speculation of the good, the bad, and the Halo.
Yeah. What have we learned today?
Yeah. Hopefully we see some good game-based shows coming up. I know by the time this comes out, we'll probably be close to the end of the Last of Us series on HBO. So we will probably be coming in hot with a full-on series review once that is done. Because why not?
I think we're legally obligated based on where we live.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, we
walked through that set.
Oh yeah. It's been the most fun, just spawning locations,
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into
People,
all that.
don't watch Halo. Watch The Last of Us. Watch The Witcher. It's really good.
Yep. Those are our 2 recommendations.
Yes.
So thanks again for tuning in, and we hope you've had a good enough time.
Good enough.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at GEG Podcast. Check out our website, goodenoughgaming.com, and write us an email about anything from our episodes or something you would like us to discuss in the future. You can also now join us on Discord on the Good Enough Gaming Discord server. We really appreciate you listening and hope you continue to join us on this epic adventure of discussing all things gaming and nerdy. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to your podcasts, and rate us 5 stars so we can find more good enoughers in the process. Just remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.